Well, welcome friends, HGG family, to our very first wellness module called Creating Your Roadmap, your GPS to living healthier, happier, better, longer. So thank you guys in advance for showing up, not only for yourselves, but for your coworkers, your family, your community, because I truly believe that getting healthy is a team sport. So with this being module 1, we're going to zoom out. We're basically going to get a 30,000 foot view of basically where you are now. So think about, where am I now? What is my lifestyle and my habits? What is the trajectory that I'm heading for? If I keep doing these same habits, where will I be in the next 10, 20 to 30 years? Do I actually even know where I'm headed? So meaning we're going to take some time to actually get clear on my future self, who it is that I want to be, how do I want to be living my life, and what do I want my health to look and feel like? Do we need to change that trajectory of where we are going? So that's why we're here today, guys, that basic overview. So to introduce myself, I am Christy Clark, and I am a health and longevity specialist. I'm on a mission to redefine health and wellness and what it means to thrive in all areas of our lives. I take a whole human approach to well-being, meaning we're rooted in nature, our intuitive knowingness, and definitely in fun, because I believe if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. So I, along with Adam, are going to be your wellness go-to. So any questions you may have, comments, concerns, please reach out to us along the way. So even though this very first module is via Zoom, we're on a year-long journey. Every month we'll meet in different ways, whether we're meeting to talk and chat, to hike, to move our bodies, but together we're going to move towards wellness. So I'm going to start off with one of my very favorite quotes by Carl Sagan. And he said, "I don't know where I'm going, but I'm on my way." When I very first heard that talk, I had to laugh. And then I realized, wow, that really hit home. How fast was I moving through life, not really even knowing where I was going? What goals did I have set for myself as far as health goals, financial goals, work goals, family goals, or was I just kind of pedal to the metal? And that's why I so much wanted to start here with all of you, because how many of you guys are just zooming down life's highways, working hard, raising families, chasing dreams, not knowing exactly where it is you're heading? But here's the kicker. Oftentimes we think we know where we're going, but we're headed in a direction that either our culture, society, or family taught us that really isn't where we want to go. Growing up, we were taught the rules of the road: to work hard, stack up dineros, save for retirement, and then in the end, we can enjoy the fruits of our labors. But what if that doesn't have to be the game that we play? What if we could play something totally different? So that's why I always want to start off with figuring out, what does success mean to you? What is your goals? What does your ideal self actually look and feel like? Because this is something I've thought long and hard about. And I have really come down to the game of life, to me, is not about how much money I can save in the bank. The game of life to me is all about neurochemistry. It boils down to really how I feel in my head and my heart every single day. To me, success is spending as much of the time as I can feeling the way that I want to feel. I want to feel energized, strong, vibrant, alive, with purpose and belongingness, kind of a sense of contribution. But mostly I want to be at home in my own body. This vehicle I have to help me travel through life, I want it to be as strong as possible. So that's where we're starting today. So whether right now you're listening to us or watching us, we're going to pause for just a minute to go with these initial questions. And your initial question is, if I woke up tomorrow and all my hopes, dreams, and ambitions had come true, what does my life look and feel like? Where am I waking up? Who am I waking up? What am I waking up to do? Am I waking up with purpose and vitality and energy? Am I excited about my day? Am I really buzzing with focus and purpose? Does my body feel alive? Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, I have never even given myself a chance to think about that. And it's true. Most of us don't. I actually was lucky enough to work at a wellness retreat overseas. And we work with a lot of very wealthy clients from around the world. And I would ask them this question. And although they had all the money that they could aspire to, usually their relationships were failing, their health was not good, they just weren't feeling the way that they wanted to feel. And they said that they'd never even allowed themselves to get clear on what it is we want. And why is this so important? Because kind of as a longevity specialist and coach, I can give you guys all the tricks of the trades, what to eat, how to move, all the different things. But if you haven't identified yourself as a healthy person, knowing where it is that you want to go, those habits may stick for a few days, couple weeks, maybe even a month or so, but then you're going to fall back into your old habits, that old identity, that old way of being. A good way to describe this, I remember Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day, right? When he became Mr. Olympia. Somebody asked him, like, how did you become Mr. Olympia? And he said, well, I just pictured my future self as him. And then I just acted as if. I acted as if I was already him. How would he lift? How would he move? How would he eat? How would he sleep? Who would he be? And then I just lived as if, and I became him. So that's our goal today, guys, is to think about who it is we want to be, and then it's easier to live as if. So I know as soon as I said, feel the way I want to feel, I could kind of hear some people saying, but you don't understand it. Like, my life is hard, my life is hectic, there's way too much expected of me. I am not in control of how I'm feeling. My outside situation environment is absolutely controlling how I'm feeling. So I just want to say to you guys, I get you, I see you, I feel you, I know what you are all going through. But with that, I just kind of want to give you some good news, is that pretty much 95% of the way you feel and the way you look and the way we act is absolutely within our control. I always say that every situation is neutral in it of itself until we put our perspective onto it. I always say your reaction to the situation is the situation. We don't actually see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. I don't know if any of you guys read the book, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, but what I love is when he talks about between stimulus and response, there is a pause. Within that pause is a choice. And with that choice is your freedom on how it is that I want to respond and act in every situation. So let's stop for a moment and we'll just kind of try this out. We'll just kind of see how it feels. So I want you guys to think of some situation in your life right now, whether it is a personal relationship, a work situation with a boss or a colleague, but something that's kind of getting to you, kind of causing some emotions that you don't like. I want you to think about that situation for just a second. Yeah, what emotions is it stirring up? Okay, and now we're just going to do a quick breath. It's called a 5-5-5. We're going to inhale for 5, we're going to hold for 5, and then we're going to exhale for 5. Are you ready? Okay, sit up nice and tall. Inhale through your nose and follow that breath through your nose, down your trachea, down your windpipe, all the way to your belly. Now hold in your belly. Let that air circulate around. Picture it. And now exhale out your nose and watch that air travel back up and out your nose, finishing with a ah. Well, you guys, that was 15 seconds. Now, chances are, during those 15 seconds, you weren't even thinking about what I just told you to think about. Because we are tapping into our vagus nerve, that calm, relaxed, and it is at your disposal all the time. So I just want you to remember that, because life is a game of neurochemistry. How I would explain it is, think of your mind like a kitchen, and that kitchen is constantly just like cooking up chemicals to make you feel the way that you're going to feel. And these chemicals are like dopamine. Dopamine's your feel-good hormone. It's your I did it, your sense of accomplishment. It's what's going to keep you coming back for more. All right, dopamine, though, can bring us into some bad habits as well. But then we have serotonin. That's your calm, I love my life. It's associated with oxytocin, or our love bomb chemical. Then we also have cortisol. Now, cortisol is that kind of stress juice. Man, it can be good because, man, you need to be focused. I need to be driven. I need to get stuff done. Cortisol can be our best friend in short bouts. But when we're stressed over long periods of time, chronically, that's what causes inflammation in our body. That's what prematurely ages our body and causes dis-ease. They actually call aging like inflammaging, meaning that chronic stress just kind of breaking us down. At the end of the day, your health is basically kind of like a balance scale, like how much injury compared to how much repair, how much stress to how much relaxation that we're having. And I got a lot of this whole chemistry thing. I follow this guy named Tom Bilyeu. He has a podcast called Impact Theory. And in it, he just talks about that. Like, he's learned, even though he has a lot of money, he's like, life is not about chasing wealth. It's about mastering these chemicals so that we feel good more often. And when we feel good more often, it kind of turns on our internal GPS that starts pointing us to more joy, more happiness, more fulfillment in our lives. So I think you're with me. Hopefully you're hanging in there. And the question you're probably asking now, sorry, I have something in my mouth, is, okay, I get you. I want to feel the way I want to feel more often. But how? I can't just breathe my way into it. Well, it's connected to your health, you guys. It starts with 4 pillars of health. Over the course of this year, we're going to focus on 8 primary pillars of your health. But to get us started today, we're just going to talk about the basic 4, because you can't move into the direction of your dreams if your tank is empty or you're running on bad fuel. Health isn't about just avoiding disease, but it's the engine to kind of help us feel alive. Without it, we feel stuck, we feel foggy, achy, drained, even depressed. But with it, you're in the driver's seat, totally in control. Because like I said, 85% of chronic disease is lifestyle related. It's our own actions and our own doing. It's our own daily action that's getting us to where we are. All right, we want to change that trajectory. We need to change how we're being, what we're doing. And those 4 pillars that we're going to talk about today are sleep, nutrition, movement, and stress management. Those are the 4 things that I want you guys to just start thinking back. Intuitively, we know what to do, but like I said, when we're pedal to the metal, we kind of just are bypassing these things without really putting our focus and energy there. So, number 1, if I could only leave you guys with one thing today, it would be this. Sleep is your number 1 reset button. Sleep is absolutely paramount. It's your numero uno for a reason. It's not just your downtime, it's your brain's nightly reset button. While you're dreaming, your brain's busy flushing out toxins, balancing those chemicals we talked about, harmonizing your hormones like insulin and growth hormone. Science calls this kind of our glymphatic system, and I like to think of it like a car wash for our mind. If we miss a good night's sleep, we're running on fumes. Cortisol spikes, mood tanks, focus fades. Like, ever notice after a really bad night's sleep, you might be a little bit more snapping at the kids, forgetting your keys, definitely craving junk food. That's just your brain begging for more sleep. So how much sleep? Well, studies show 7 to 9 hours is what we need. And I know a lot of people think, oh, I can do less. But actually think about it evolutionarily. If we were actually able to survive on less sleep, we would have figured it out by now, because when we were sleeping, back in the day, sleeping, it was dangerous. We could have been eaten by animals, attacked by another tribe. So the less we would have slept, the better for our survival. But we never were able to do less. 7 to 9 hours is exactly what we need to help protect us against long-term diseases. Good sleep cuts your risk of diabetes, heart disease, even Alzheimer's. I want you to think of it as nature's medicine, and we can't skimp on it. So in each of these 4 foundations, we're going to talk about some things that we can start to integrate. I don't expect you to try to integrate all of them, but maybe pick one that you can start on. We have a workbook that accompanies this talk, and every single day for the entire month, we're going to give you little strategies, tips, and tricks to help you move in the direction you want, all right? So first, when it comes to better sleep, I want you to think consistency. Our body loves routine. When we can start doing the same thing, we actually do it better and better. So I always kind of think of it backwards, okay? I'm aiming for, 7 to 8 hours a night? Okay, well, what time is it that I need to get up so I don't feel rushed in the morning? I know you guys have lots to do, whether you have to pack lunches for kids, pack a healthy lunch for yourself, whether you're going to do some morning movement or meditation. Allow yourself that time. So maybe you have to get up about 5:30. So that means I need to be going to bed by 9:30 to 10:30 to get that required time. So kind of think of it backwards, plan it out, get into a routine of sleep. Now, to get good quality sleep, there's some things we want to think about. One is try to stop watching TV or computers or screens 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime, because that blue light kind of like keeps us awake. It makes it a little harder for us to fall asleep. Think about don't eat for at least 2 hours before bedtime, because boy, when we have had a big meal, about 80% of our energy is going towards digestion. When we sleep, remember, like I said, that car wash for our brain and the body, we want all of our workers working there, not on digestion. So if we're going to bed at 9:30, 7:30 is when we kind of take that last bite. It's all kind of about working backwards. And basically make your room a sleep sanctuary. I don't ever suggest having a TV in your bedroom. Make it for sleep and intimacy. So things I think about, is my room nice and dark? All right, is it nice and cool? That's going to give me the opportunity to get a little better night's sleep. Now, if I could just end the lecture right there, I think this would be paramount to creating better health. But I do want to make sure we talk about all 3 of our foundations today, so you guys can at least pick one major one to work on. So the second one, think of it nutrition and hydration. These are the nutrients that keep our body and our brain humming like a fine oiled machine. When we eat whole foods, think colorful fruits and vegetables, clean proteins like chicken and fish, healthy fats like avocado and nuts, we're giving our system just premium fuel. These foods help to stabilize our blood sugar, fuel our good gut bacteria. That gut bacteria, think of it like your second brain. It's helping you have those good feelings that we want. And it's going to keep your body running on steady energy. I mean, think about it when you guys kind of get on this sugar high and we're kind of wired and tired, depleted and defeated. That's usually when we get on those sugar highs. So also think about hydration. What can we be doing there? Because even if we're 3% dehydrated, our brain loses focus and clarity. So what are some healthy habits we can be doing now, adopting 1 or 2, to start moving us in the right direction? So first off, basic thing, when you wake up in the morning, start with at least 8 to 16 ounces of water. Bonus, if you add a little lemon, maybe a little bit of sea salt into there. Think about it. We've just been sleeping 7, 8, maybe 9 hours, and we haven't had a sip to drink. So first, let's get in that water to kind of refuel our cells again. Another thing when it comes to nutrition, I want you guys to think about, what can I swap out? Is there like a whole food that I can eat instead of a processed food? So instead of eating chips, can I maybe eat some nuts and seeds? And instead of eating like a packaged fruit roll up or something, could I eat an apple instead? Another healthy tip that actually is one of my favorite is, as Americans, we tend to plate backwards, meaning when we grab our plate, the very first thing we tend to do is load it with carbohydrates, whether we put our pasta or our rice or our potatoes on there first. Then we tend to put the protein, and whatever room we have left will be some vegetables. What if we did that backwards? What if we grabbed our plate and the first thing we did is filled it with all the yummy vegetables with fiber and the nutrients that we need? Broccoli and cauliflower, zucchini, carrots, all of those things. Then we're gonna put our protein on top, fish, chicken, some steak, add some healthy fats, avocado, olive oil, nuts and seeds. Then whatever room we have left on our plate, that's where we can add maybe some sweet potato, some rice, some beans, other carbohydrates onto there. And then we kind of want to eat in the opposite order too. To keep your blood sugar lower, if you guys actually eat your fibrous foods first, it kind of lines your gut lining. So we're less able to actually absorb those sugar and starches. So eat all your vegetables first, your protein second, those healthy fats and seeds, and save those carbs for last. Now, some of us might not be in a place where we actually can or want to change the foods that we're eating right now, and that's okay. It's funny, about 5 years back, my brother lost about 20 pounds, and he didn't change anything he ate. He just looked at the serving size. He was just eating too big of servings. And once we kind of talked that, a serving of protein is about the size of your palm, all right? Maybe some carbohydrates about the size of your fist. Now, if we're gonna eat some good vegetables, we want about 2 fists. If we're gonna eat some greens, here we go. Some fats right here, like 2 thumbs. Just cutting down on your serving size is sometimes some of the best way to start to feel healthier and loving your body. All right, so we talked about sleep, we talked about nutrition, but now we get to move on to my favorite, actually, which is movement, because I am a big believer that motion evokes emotion. If I want to change how I feel, I gotta change my situation. I gotta get up and I gotta move my body. If you want to shake off the funk, just get up and move. Remember, our ancestors did this all the time. It's in our DNA. They would cross the valleys. During the day, they would hunt and gather. At night, they would dance by the fire because they knew those feel-good hormones came from their movement. Movement, like again, is nature's medicine. It's free, and it's better than any drug. And studies show that movement isn't only good mentally, which we just talked about, but it's what builds muscle. It's good for our heart. It helps keep our vascular system and our joints strong, keeps our energy up. And remember, guys, you don't have to go to the gym to do this. We've got nature's playground. Just get outside, go for a walk, grab the kids, grab the dog, get up, dance in your kitchen, move and stretch. Your body is just meant to move, and just enjoy that feeling each and every day. Now, so what are some healthy habits to help us move more? Number one, I always talk about OTMs, and they're opportunities to move. So I don't have time in the morning to go for a walk. No worries. I'm going to park as far out as I can possibly park to walk my way into work. I'm going to set a little alarm on my clock so every hour as I'm working, I can stand up, take a stretch break, go for a walk around the office, maybe go fill up my water bottle, maybe take some walking meetings at work. There's so many ways that we can add a little bit more in. I know people really think a lot about when getting in 10,000 steps a day. Actually, the average person only gets in 3,500, and that's because some of our Outdoor workers get in a lot. The average office worker only gets in about 1,800 steps a day. So I would say shoot for about 7,000. How can we get up every minute to move? All right, we're kind of moving along. I was hoping to get this in a half an hour, so I definitely want to save the best for last, and that is our stress management. Life is just basically, like you said, a gas pedal and a brake. We are pedal to the metal all the time, and stress management is about pumping those brakes every once in a while, tapping it down, slowing things down. Yes, stress is a part of life, but it's a part of life that we get to control because it is so important to our overall health. I want you guys to think about what are some ways that you control your stress now? Do you use your breath? Do you chat with a friend? Take a walk, go to yoga, or do you not even think about it at all? Well, over the course of this year, we're going to be talking a ton about stress management because it is the key to a long, healthy life. So a couple tips that I want to give you guys. Dr. Andrew Wiles, one of my favorite, and the breath he uses is called the 5-7-8 breath. I actually call it my door jam breath. Why? Because every time I'm changing the situation, so if I'm going from one meeting to the next, maybe going from a Zoom call to an in-person meeting, or you're done at the end of the day at work and you want to go see your family, before you walk through the door, you're going to stop. And you're going to inhale slowly for 5. You're going to hold at the top for 7. Then you're going to slowly exhale for 8. Now, ideally, we're going to do that 3 times for 1 minute because that's going to light up our vagus nerve. It's going to change how we're feeling, how we see the world, and how we start to react to each and every situation. So that's my number one go-to. But other ways to kind of control that stress hormone that you're going to love is think of a good hug. All right, it's okay. Hug a coworker, hug a friend, hug a family. The best advice I was ever given is never be the one to end a hug. All right, just let the people enjoy it. You'll be amazed sometimes, like hugging your child, and just don't let go. And be amazed how long they'll actually stay there and hug you and what they need. Other ways to control our stress, stimulate that vagus nerve, laughing out loud. Play something funny, put on some jokes, be the one at the office to just lighten somebody's mood. All right. Singing is another one, whether you're singing in the shower or singing in the car is really good for stimulating that. Can't sing, even humming is a good option. But just remember, you guys, just don't take yourself so seriously. I kind of feel like it is the cosmic joke of life that nothing is certain. And it just is what it is. So I hope I didn't give you too much information today. But basically, I want you guys to just stop driving blind. I want you to think about who is that ideal person that I want to be. What are the steps I need to start taking to change that trajectory so that I am living healthy, happy, better, longer? So here's your calls to action. After you finish listening to this, you're going to get out the workbook. And I want you to actually fill out that vision, get crystal clear on who it is that you want to be. Then maybe find an accountability partner and share with them their ideas, what it is you're working towards. You're going to look through the workbook and see what's the lowest hanging fruit. What are my easiest first steps that I could start doing? You don't need to start with all 4, maybe just sleep. We're going to break it up. 1 week is sleep, 1 week nutrition, movement, so that since it's our kickoff meeting, we want to kind of get the ball rolling. And then every month after this, we're just going to pick one major thing to work on. Because you know what, guys, it's time to turn on our internal GPS. Let's start heading towards health because you deserve to feel amazing each and every day. All right, so I'm Coach Christy, and I will be here with you on this journey. Please feel free to reach out. You can email me. You can text me. I'm here to answer your questions along the way. So thank you so much for listening and for attending, and in good health to all of you. Thanks so much.